just things that we're noticing, and that was.
And what is it, like a retreat of? Like
Well, it was only a 2 hour.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 2 hours. Yeah, he had to pay for it.
Oh, did you? Okay.
But I mean, now I can do it on my own. Yeah, and I guess, the breathing, so that it's softened, like your eyes are closed, so it's like looking like the eyes of a child.
So you don't need to pay to go initially. Like if you just wanted to go.
Oh, yeah, no, it's only because she let us.
Right.
Okay, friends, let's begin this evening meditation. First of all, I would like to welcome you with blessings in mind. It is Family Day. It means that we gather as a family and share good things to enrich our life. You must be playing a couple of roles in your family. Despite some family members who live far away from you due to work related things and other reasons, you can think of the family conceptually and wish everyone happiness and peace. At this moment, with virtual platform or in person here, you join with us and I join with you with compassion and kindness. So the compassion and kindness make the world beautiful. So let's try it, and we are beautiful people, of course, but when you really take it and meditate on that, it becomes a wonderful power that makes the changes in our life. So wishing everyone happy and peaceful family life. May you be able to cultivate your mind further towards the destruction of craving, greed, hatred, and make the whole world beautiful. With that thought in mind, I'm going to give a start for today's meditation. As you see, we recite the noble virtues and 5 precepts, and we remind ourselves that we are impermanent object in this vast universe, so that attachment to impermanent object is useless because it brings suffering. So reminding us with this wonderful, natural and practical teaching, we will be meditating for nearly 50 minutes. So let's begin the chanting now with wholesome thought in mind. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Sanghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Dutiyampi Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Sanghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Sanghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Pānātipātā vēramaṇī sikkāpadaṃ samādhiyāmi. අදින්නාදානා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි කාමේසු මිච්ඡාචාරා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි මුසාවාදා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි සුරාමේරය මජ්ජපමා දට්ඨානා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි සබ්බේ සංඛාරා අනිච්චාති යදා පඤ්ඤාය පස්සති අත නිබ්බින්දති දුක්ඛේ ඒස මග්ගෝ විසුද්ධියා සබ්බේ සංඛාරා දුක්ඛාති යදා පඤ්ඤාය පස්සති අත නිබ්බින්දති දුක්ඛේ ඒස මග්ගෝ විසුද්ධියා සබ්බේ ධම්මා අනාත්තාති යදා පඤ්ඤාය පස්සති අත නිබ්බින්දති දුක්ඛේ ඒස මග්ගෝ විසුද්ධියා සාදු 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 with the chanting the noble virtues and the precepts we are ready to begin the meditation. As you have been sitting comfortably, you can reflect your body with gentle attitude towards it. Feel the central gravity of the body. Then look at the body from top of it to the toes, exactly as the way you maintain the body. Having known the body as it is, we can go into feeling and also the mind for some understanding about the current situation of the body and mind. Pay your attention now to the breathing at the nostril. That is one thing that this body gets support for survival. We feel the in-breath, rising of it, and the passing of out-breath at the same place, the nostril, without living in the past or in the future. Live here with what you do. Breathe in, happily and peacefully. Breathe in, breathe out. a rising of in-breath and passing of out-breath are visible. Mind slowly get into peace and happiness. Sadhu. 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 Okay, friends, that's the end of the focused meditation. Make your posture comfortable if you wish. Okay, so after the meditation, we try our best to give some tips of Dhamma to increase the meditation experience and also to live the day-to-day life in a positive way. Today is the family day. It's a holiday for some people to be with the family and celebrate whatever values they family together develop. So that I thought of talking about the way the qualities of our life develops in a way to help each other. At the end, with any practice, it should they should take us to a situation or experience where we find happiness. The reason why we are called human, because humans should be wise when they compare to other living beings. That's why the human, or the Pali word manusso, come into this particular being. So how does that happen? When only we open up our mind and develop it with compassion, kindness, generosity, respect, and so forth. We find some people who have less developed mind, so that their anger level, hatred, ill will, ignorance are too high and intense. But some people understand the importance of life and the life itself, so that they cultivate some positive qualities. So the meditation we practice is always for cultivating our mind. I remember a couple of weeks ago, I was talking about the skillfulness. Skillfulness means being skilled to identify unwholesomeness in the mind and the wholesomeness in the mind, and remove the unwholesomeness and also cultivate or develop the wholesomeness of the mind. This is called skillfulness in spirituality. In a normal society, we find skillfulness is to do some activities. Like, when one becomes skillful of running, another one would not be skillful for running. Where somebody might be skillful in cooking, while somebody, is not like that. So each humans have skills to do certain things, but not everything. So this is how we understand skillfulness in normal setting. But when we come to spirituality, skillfulness means the ability to suppress negative emotions, and at some point with the strong wholesome energy, the wholesome energy is also skillfulness, and take those unwholesome thought out from our mind. Friends, what do you mean by enlightenment? Enlightenment means the peak of skillfulness, right? So there is no any thought of suffering, greed, hatred, and ignorance in your mind when you attain to that particular state called enlightenment. It's a total transformation of our mind from unstable, unskillful, unwholesome situations to stable, skillful, and wholesome state. So that anybody can feel enlightenment if they really do it. Today there was an event here, and the people who participated in the UN asked a question, and they are all about how we know about our mental states. Because people engage with good activity, bad activity sometimes. When they come to meditation centers like this, they would engage with some peaceful activities to purify their mind. So the question was asked is about how one knows about their mental development. How do you know about your mind, whether it is developed through meditation or not? That's a good question, right? So how do we know exactly? Before I answer the questions, I just want to let you think about it and find the answer. When we are angry, we know it, right? Our mind is so busy, hot, and physical appearance also change into a negative one. Our eyes and the whole face not that pleasant, right? We cannot stand still, and the word we should tell would be muddle, and they are going to change rapidly. So what we wish to say, we will not be said because of the anger. It's a very powerful force. So we know that. And when the anger is going away from us, the replacement is with some sort of peaceful state. And we know that. Right? If you go out without a jacket today, what do you have? What do you feel? The cold. You feel numbness at some point, and you feel pain. And there is no one, there shouldn't be anyone to tell you that it's cold. You feel it. And when you go out of the house on the hot summer, you feel that heat, right? So when you go to the bathroom and turn the shower into hot, you feel that hotness and the coldness as well. So when such things happen to your physical body, you are going to know it immediately. Likewise, friends, when we talk about the mind is quite similar to the body in a different way. When mind is full with peaceful, clear thought, we feel it. How do we feel it? We have no problem at all. We are feeling very nice sensation because the mind is with so much positive, peaceful, charming thoughts. When the mind is getting those fighting feeling, perception, and thoughts, our physical body react to it negatively. The blood circulation is fast, the breathing is happening quickly, because of the emotion, negative emotions. The heart pumps the blood in a fast-paced way, so that we feel that there is no physical rest, no mental rest at all. So having seen the normal situation in our body and mind like this, we can understand what kind of mental development we have. Right? If your mind, when we talk about the mental development, it means that our mind stay away from unwholesome state for a longer period. If we talk about the temporary peaceful state, if we talk about the mental state where there is no any unwholesomeness at all, they are called special stages of spirituality. So then you feel your mind is completely released from those negative emotions. So you are going to feel it. So you don't need any support, anyone else advice to feel it. So it is you who practice the Dharma gradually, day by day, and you are the one who feels it. You are the one who know about the mental cultivation. So to make ourselves very profound in spirituality, we need to do more. We need to strive on so that we can make a significant change in our mind. So if I go into the Noble Eightfold Path, the path that we should go on to make ourselves sustain on this peace, we can understand they are interrelated. First and foremost, to make ourselves happy and peaceful and spiritually advanced, the first and foremost, we should have right understanding. I think you have heard about this, right understanding. The Pali term for this is Sammaditthi. It means your view is going to be peaceful, right, accurate. What does that mean? It means that I see you and you can see me, and we can see other people doing various things. So this is also seen from our physical eye. But that seeing that doesn't make any sense in the spiritual practice. It is useful because you, without seeing, how could you drive here, right? You have to see your car, your key, and yourself, and come here on the road and park the car and come in. So you have to see them, see the object. But from the absolute truth, it means absolute truth means the truth that really exists is different from what we create, right? So according to absolute truth, seeing is not the surface level seeing. Seeing is profound. You see me and I see you. When I see you, absolute truth speak about the construction of your body. Your body is made by elements, solidity, cohesion, and heat. For example, if you take my body and separate each body parts and put them on a table, you are not going to tell this is Bhante, this is flesh, this is blood, this is bones, these are bones, these are teeth, nails, and hair, and the kidney, and the lungs, and because then you are not going to tell this is a human. You might mention different parts of the body. So if we look at each part of those body on the table, and you can say that they are changing their color, shape, and at the end, it could disappear. So this is the fundamental reality of our physical body. And also these walls and the ceiling, the floor, the cupboard, clothes, everything are given name to the nature of physical elements. So that is the fundamental reality of us as well as other things. So through right thinking, we try to understand everything is made by four elements. Everything is because of seeing, hearing, tasting, and smelling, so that there is nothing for us to attach. That is part of the fundamental reality. So when you know this, do you go to fight with anybody? Because you understand yourself as a collection of elements and everybody else and everything else in the world. You do not fight with anyone to, live, and you do not attach with anyone and anything in this world to live. but you live just because you were born, and now you understand living peacefully is the only option in this life because everything is impermanent. All the conditions, things that appear as humans or animals or other living beings or material things, they are subject to impermanence. As soon as we see the fundamental reality of everything, what we see is changing phenomena. If you take a ice onto your palm, it's solid and you feel tough, you feel rough. But at some point, it becomes water. And if there is heat, it evaporates. It's become, it's in the wind. And before that, you can boil the water. It's hot. So the four primary elements in this world is solidity, cohesion, heat, and air. So one thing at a time would be prominently solid, and at another time it would be cohesion. Sometime it would be hot. Sometime it would be wind. So every material things could be categorized into these four. It means that every material things has the nature of four elements. So in meditation, with right understanding, you get the point that myself and everybody else made up of four elements. This clears his view not to attach to, not to fight with anyone, but he or she must do certain activities for living, looking for food and clothes and medicine, treating others compassionately, helping, living for others. Those are some of the compassionate actions done by enlightened beings, not because they get something, but because they are compassionate in heart. So friends, sooner or later we try for this. That's the path for everlasting peace and happiness, what we call enlightenment. So we need to bring our mind into a neutral position with regard to anything and everything in the world. And so long you live in this neutral mind, you are not going to harm anybody else. You are not going to make any, anything any damage to the any physical or mental things in this world. So I think, as I understand, right understanding of the Noble Eightfold Path, it provides a very clear picture about who we are and what we are and what the world is, so that the calmness of the investigator based on right understanding come to an effect, and he become a very silent person, very nice person too. So that's what I wanted to share. So let's try our best to meditate. During the meditation, what we try is to calm down our mind and let this investigation happen. In the first 10 or 15 minutes, we must be skillful to calm down our mind and train it enough to stay here and here right now. And then we have cut off the negative emotion into a greater extent in our mind, so that we can spend the rest of the time of the meditation for investigation. Investigation means what this body and what is arising in the mind. Even in the happy and peaceful framework of the mind, there are thoughts, and we see them. Rising of the thought, we see them, and leaving of some thoughts, we see them. So seeing rising and passing of the peaceful state, we come to a conclusion that even these peaceful things are going away from us. So the impermanence has a quality appear in your mind. When you see the impermanence with regard to those happy thoughts, you decide that attachment to these impermanent things is useless. Keeping them tight is useless, so that I should be away from them. So who is going to be away from these attachment or detachment or impermanent thing? Then you don't find a person, because the person I, me, myself, is also mental creation. So at the end, you come to a neutral observation where there is no person, no problem. No problem means no person means no problem, right? So it's called non-self. It's hard to, actually, it's not that hard to understand, but reaching that level would be difficult. A lot of work should be there in our account to reach it completely, but we sounds that it is possible. Right? So anything to share? Any questions you happen to arise? No questions. Yeah.
It says that we're not to take intoxicants, but what classifies as intoxicants?
As I understand your question, so yeah, you mean anything intoxicating, right?
Yeah, like is there a difference between being intoxicated
Yeah.
versus taking something that isn't an intoxicant?
I think when you take anything intoxicating, is because you like it, right? You desire for it, you crave for it, and what you have in that at that moment in your mind is something wanting, expecting. So when you become intoxicated on something, you do it because you like it. So taking intoxicating, what happened? Your mind become because mind is always is maintained based on physical body, right? So eyes, ears, nose, tongue, the whole body are the feeding ground of our mind. When you take something into your body, the function of the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and the whole body come to a state where you don't feel it sometimes. For example, if you drink alcohol, right, the ability of proper thinking would be going away from it. For some people, they might argue that, okay, but when we take alcohol, we can think properly. But it's not so. Your the shameness and being fearful, they are all gone, and you can do whatever you want. Sometimes even unlawful thing could be done with the power of alcohol. So taking them in is done because of a certain purpose. In my understanding, it's people want to enjoy the sensory experience. For example, a lot of people take alcohol in the evening just to get out of this physical pain. Throughout the day, they work hard. For example, those people who lift so many items during the day, and those people who work on the road may be so tired. So having some alcohol, they might kind of forgetfulness about that physical pain and sleep throughout the night. So their purpose of taking alcohol is to end that unpleasant experience, physical pain, for a certain period of time. But when they woke up in the morning, it's again, you are tired because of what you take, right? So then you become intoxicated means you are mentally attached to something. You cannot stay away with that. Like, some people are there that they are addicted to different things. It's a kind of addiction. It's like intoxicated. You've been intoxicated doing it. So I think in both occasions you have some attachment in mind, craving, greed. So if we analyze the situation, both situations spiritually, what you have in mind is something negative feeling. That's my understanding about it.
Yeah, I would say that you're not in control. It controls you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We give the control to something, some substances. That's what happen when you drink alcohol.
And also in a way of not feeling.
Yeah,
My father was not. He said, and then he stopped drinking. And he went to AA, but he said he was scared of life. Feeling was so painful.
Yeah.
And so therefore his father, his grandfather, there's a whole legacy of the inability to deal with their emotion.
yeah. Yeah, when you,
So I mean, it can be within families.
yeah,
Of just not having the toolkit, to deal with what needs to deal with,
yeah,
and anger and rage, and then, gee, had I known about meditating, I could have helped them.
yeah, indeed, yeah. Yeah, I know a family,
Breath.
yeah,
Yeah.
I know a family from Sri Lanka, and the father started drinking alcohol just after the marriage, and it's non-stop drinking. He cannot afford buying alcohol from the shop, but he made it at home with fruits and vegetables and some sort of leftover from the kitchen. And what happened? His children are not well grown. I mean, I don't know how to say it, but father is very thin and unhealthy looking. Always eyes are red and so much bad smell coming out of his body because he always drink alcohol. And children who made himself and his wife are not well fully physically grown. I mean, they are not healthy too,
No.
because whatever you gave for the production of the children, he had affected with alcohol. So the children of that man also got married, and their whole cycle is like that. It doesn't mean that some of the children behave like the father, but their beginning was not healthy. So that no medicine can cure that kind of problem, because it goes from genes to gene and from person to person. So that's why when we have alcohol in our table, we should think that it's not only killing myself, it will affect to everybody else too.
Even if it's only one.
Yeah. Suppose you drink
Well,
alcohol.
they've done studies, and it shrinks your brain.
Yeah,
There's physiological things that happen.
that's true. And suppose you are alone and drink alcohol. How about when you go? Suppose you're alcoholic and you're like fainted with it, right? So you go on the road and you don't hear the other vehicles horns, and you might hit somebody. So either way, it could affect to the society. Yeah. And the simple question is why we are looking for happiness of some in a life with something nasty, right? Something harmful.
Or you could say, why are you looking for happiness inside yourself?
Yeah. Look into, as you said, people do not have a lot of tools to enjoy their life. It's a beautiful gift, actually. This life is a beautiful gift, and we have to find it. If you look at yourself, you could find it. Each and every human, despite their language, geographical, religious, cultural differences, they come to this world for a purpose. The purpose is advancing themselves with human quality. Each one is beautiful. Each human condition is so precious. Unfortunately, some are not lucky to get it. Many people are not lucky to get it.
And, suffering is optional.
Yeah, suffering, that's the best way to say. Suffering is optional.
Hi, Krishna hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's optional.
Yeah. Pain is always there.
But it also has to do with your vibrations.
Yeah.
Too. I mean, like people are together. So you have the miserable people together because they're vibrating at a very low rate, very heavy. And then enlightened people, they're around 500, 600 hertz.
Yeah.
So
if
you want to be enlightened, you're going to have to move your vibration.
That's right. Indeed. So we can look at that peaceful mind in different angles, and if people define it from their own experience. So I agree with that. In the middle of very unwholesome people, you can make yourself protected from unwholesome energies by increasing your energy.
Or just leave.
Just leave.
Just leave.
Yeah.
It's
If
Why would you want to be
yeah,
in your
if-
company?
yeah, exactly right. If there are a lot of weeds in the ground, the one vegetable or one flower might be going to be away, might be die because of the power of the weed. So it's better for us to take it out and plant it somewhere, then it grows. So something like that. Yeah, depending on the situation, if there is bad energy, leave it out. Because first and foremost, we should have compassion for us.
Mm.
It's not selfish. It's the protection. It's a safe way of living with. You have, unless you carry your wholesome energy over there, without being a victim of them, just leave physically. Yeah, that's safe.
I mean, you can bless them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Send a prayer.
Yes, that's right.
But move on.
Even the
because
Buddha.
they will suck your energy
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
allow them
Yeah.
to suck your energy.
Because if your peaceful state of mind is not that solid like an enlightened person, the things other people do around you might affect your peaceful state of. You might bear everything for a certain period of time, but there is a limit.
Mm.
So if you go over your limit, you must be screaming and angry now. You were so good at the beginning, accepting everything, but there is a limit for human energy. Unless they are certain enlightened beings, they might be failing with their energy. So it's always beneficial and better for everyone to leave from that place physically. Yeah. So let's try our best to give some time and space for our mind and cultivate some energies, make our body and mind more powerful so that we would be really good.
And also grounding, so
Yeah.
important.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you're talking about unstable people. So typically people who are not stable are not grounded.
Yeah.
So there's certain grounding exercises that you to help with your practice.
Yeah. Okay, so it's 8:30. So we'll read the peaceful words of the Buddha about loving kindness to end the session. This is the closing rituals. The reading Buddha's words on loving kindness. This is what should be done by one who's skilled in goodness and who knows the path of peace. Let them be able and upright, straightforward and gentle in speech, humble and not conceited, contented and easily satisfied, unburdened with duties and frugal in their ways, peaceful and calm and wise and skillful, not proud or demanding in nature. Let them not do the slightest thing that the wise would later reprove. Wishing in gladness and in safety, may all living beings be at ease. Whatever living beings there may be, whether they are weak or strong, omitting none, the great or the mighty, the medium, short or small, the seen and the unseen, those living near and far away, those born and to be born, may all beings be at ease. Let none deceive another or despise any being in any state. Let none through anger or ill will wish harm upon another. Even as a mother protects with her life her child, her only child, so with a boundless heart should one cherish all living beings. radiating kindness over the entire world, spreading upwards to the skies and downwards to the depths, outwards and unbounded, free from hatred and ill will, whether standing or walking, seated or lying down, free from drowsiness, one should sustain this recollection. This is said to be the sublime abiding, by not holding to fixed views, the pure-hearted one, having clarity of vision, being freed from all sense desires, he is not born again into this world. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you very much for your participation.
I have one more.
Yeah.
Oh, he's supposed to go. Yeah, I'm just reading about ascension.
Yeah.
And quantum theory.
Yeah.
And all kinds of books.